Out with the first fight on the card, Esteban Ribovics against Loik Radzhabov. Both guys very talented, both guys winning mentality. I say Esteban Ribovics first round knockout, and with the first round. He will clip him in a defending striking exchange and have the win. No 12 and 0 after this. Next fight, Blackshear against Farid Basharat. This is the brother of Javad. Only one brother can be successful. We see it in every sport. I believe this is Javad and not Farid, so I go with Blackshear. Second round finish. Of course, people will believe it will be a submission. I see a TKO, but you'll never know. But second round finish. Next fight on the card, Jessica Pene or Julian Pene against Tabatha Ricchi. The whole fight week I had Ricchi on my mind, but at the end of the day, man, it's a veteran in Pene. Submission second round, Amba. This is in my mind. I can see it happen. This will be a tough one for both fighters. Tabatha is young. She will have a good career. Um, Next fight on the card, Leomana Martinez against the hype from South Africa. I really like this place and all the fighters from there against Cameron Saaiman. I hope I said his name right. 7-0, got a lot of hype behind him. I believe a decision win for him, 30-27 against Leomana Martinez. Tough fight for him. He will have big experience after this fight. Next fight, Garry prospect from Ireland against Kenan Song. In his debut from Kenan Song, I thought this guy was from South Korea because of the name Song. He's from China. Free TK, no, not even TK, just knockouts. This guy has a potential to be called a glass chin, and for Garry this is perfect. The UFC knows what they're doing and how the matchup fights. Mick Minot and Sean Shelby, and Dennis also included, even if he says he's not a matchmaker. Beginning of the second round, Garry will have the finish. He's not a fast finisher, but he can finish fights. Even if he has 2 decisions in his last performances, he can still have a finish. Second round, early knockout from Garry. Next fight, Julian Marquez against Marc-Andre Barriault. Canadian, hard name for me, but good fight. I know, very good fight. Not top 15, but he can win fights in the UFC. Third round finish for Marc-Andre. Maybe a guillotine, but we can see also a TKO for him against Julian Marquez, who I believe is not a top level UFC fighter. Of course, he's a good fighter. I respect every fighter on the card, but I don't see him, as a prospect for the UFC. I see him a good fighter in PFL or even in Bellator, fighting for a title or something, but not in the UFC, man. So third round finish for Marc-Andre. Vivianne Araujo against Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas, younger, but I think Vivianne has her last fight against Alexa Grasso. She lost to a decision. This can happen. This girl fights now for the title. This is not a shame for Vivianne Araujo. She will have the last fight, the last run, I mean, for her. If she wins this, maybe 1-2 wins more, and she can fight for the title. Right now, this is her last run, I believe, and of course she will take the opportunity by decision. 30-27 for Vivianne Araujo, maybe even 29-27 28, we can see that because Amanda Ribas is not just anybody. She's young, 29 years old, I believe. She will have a time, in the octagon and maybe even one time fight for the title. Next fight on the card, Derek Brunson against um, Driccus du Plessis, also a fighter from South Africa. For me, it's surprising that this a fight is on the prelim because both guys are in the top 10 middleweight division, and Driccus du Plessis is also a big name, and everybody knows Derek Brunson. Everybody who's involved in the sport of MMA, who's not even a hardcore fan, even a casual, knows who's Derek Brunson. But it is what it is. Driccus du Plessis second round finish. After Derek Brunson gassing out, takedown attempt. That's all he can do against Driccus du Plessis. Second round finish. He will clip him, and then he can go for the TKO, or even also maybe even a dash choke. People will say guillotine, maybe even a dash choke. We will see. The last fight before the main card begins, Cody Garbrandt, against Trevin Jones. I always believe that Cody Garbrandt is one of the best fighters in bantamweight division. I mean, after his crazy knockouts and his performance against Dominic Cruz for the title, like outstanding performance, man. Head movement on point, precision strikes, speed, everything was on point, man. After the downfall against TJ Dillashaw, every hardcore MMA fan needs to be said about this, because we all love to watch great fights. He can put a great fights. He can put a highlight even if he gets knocked out. I don't believe in this fight. I believe he'll take it seriously. He trained a lot. I know this. I followed him. He trained a lot with big guys, man. He put some work in it, and I see a decision. Play it safe. Have a decision win against Trevin Jones, and take the fight for his comeback. Winning comeback. Let's say it like this. So Cody Garbrandt, 30-27, 29-28. I have it 30-27 in my mind. Maybe even have two knockdowns, one knockdown at least against Trevin Jones, and take the win, man. Main card opening, Bo Nickal against Jimmy Pickett. Nothing else to say except a Bo Nickal first round finish. Maybe let's say 80% will say submission. I say knockout. Why? Because Jamie Pickett will also think he will get taken down. Uh, I believe Bo Nickal will try to take him down, and then transit it to a right overhand, man. Classic. Knock him out, put him out flat. First round knockout in the middle of the fight, trying to see what Jimmy Pickett has to offer. I believe Jimmy Pickett will circle around the cage and then get caught by that right overhand from Bo Nickal. First round knockout for Bo Nickal. Next fight on the card is Mateusz Gamrot against Julian Turner. Gamrot should be the favorite, without a doubt, but Julian Turner first round, first minute knockout. And I also believe, people can call me crazy, it's okay, but Julian Turner will be the UFC lightweight champion. After this fight, after the next fight, and maybe even a third fight, he will fight for the title, and I believe he'll take it. If he can defend it, I don't know. Only God knows, but I believe this guy can be the champion of the UFC. He has the potential, he has the power, he has the size, the height advantage against a lot of fighters. And I also believe that guy has worked on himself, like Charles Oliveira. First in the beginning, some tough losses, but he worked on himself, good mindset. I see this in Julian Turner, and I see a clean finish, man. First round knockout for Julian Turner against Mateusz Gamrot. In the first minute, man, he will clip him very fast. Mateusz Gamrot shouldn't take his comeback win fight against Julian Turner, man. He should take maybe a lesser opponent, because it's a very dangerous fight for him, especially after that broken hand. He will not be used to it, to punch with the right hand. He will be a little bit scared, because his hand was broken, and after a tough loss against Benil Del Rouge, I just can't see him winning, man. I see the same thing like Brett Riddle against Julian Turner, man. Just I see a TKO, I think Brett Riddle will go for a TKO. Sorry, I mean Julian Turner. Tarantula, he will win the fight. The last fight before we see title fights is Jeff Neal against Shavkat Rakhmonov. This is a tough one, You can really say one thing to another, go left and right. At the end of the day, second round finish for Shavkat Rakhmonov. Neal is a very great fighter, man. I like him because of his last performances. He showed, he's still there. That he still want to win fights, man. Maybe even fight for the title, He has a good mindset. But Rakhmonov is very dangerous, man. This guy is 16-0, all finishes. And I think the biggest special thing about this guy is he knows how to use his advantages in the size, man. He really knows how to use this, and this is his big advantage against other guys, in the welterweight division. He's maybe like a guy like Shimaev, who can show his power in this division and take you immediately down. But Shavkat is very good in the stand-up. Second round, he will clip him. He will clip Neal. Maybe go for the guillotine. I can see this, but maybe even a TKO. But I believe this will be a guillotine, for Shavkat Rakhmonov, and take the win and fight top 5 fighter. And we can maybe see him one day fighting for the title. I mean, this is a very big prospect from Kazakhstan, and I'm very excited to watch his fight. So now the title fights, man. Valentina Shevchenko, their bullet against Alexa Grasso. I really believed in Grasso, and I really wanted her to win the fight, but we can't trust him, man. We can't trust him. We can't bet our house. We can't even bet, some money on it, because this is not a fixed fight for her, man. This is Valentina Shevchenko, one of the best females ever, maybe even the best female fighter in the world, especially after Amanda Nunes lost against Juliana Pene. We see, okay, now we have a big debate, who's better. And Shevchenko, if he wins this fight, she has her potential to say, I'm the best, I'm still the best, I win my fights. And Alexa Grasso is not the woman to beat her. She makes a lot of mistakes in her fight, and you can't really make a mistake against Valentina Shevchenko. She's too dangerous. So end of the third round, TKO for Valentina Shevchenko. Maybe even in a stand-up, with a good high kick or something. She can catch her and put her out, man. TKO. And she will still be the champion in the flyweight. This is her division, This is what I believe. Can we say the same thing about John Jones against Cyril Gane? Can he beat this guy, This guy who just can't lose, man. In my eyes, 27-0, the GOAT, John Jones. Very excited to see him fight, and I'm very proud to have him on my first clip. But Cyril Gane, man. This is a comeback fight after 3 years against Cyril Gane. Not a good take, man. Not a good take. Of course, the UFC believes that he can win this fight. That's why they matched him up against Cyril Gane and not against Sergey Pavlovich or Curtis Blades, Curtis Blades is not that big of a dangerous opponent for John Jones. He can work on that. But a guy like Pavlovich can really put him out. I really love to see him against Stipe, because I believe he can beat Stipe. This will be a much easier fight for him, because Stipe is not the same, of course, after this fight, man. Especially after the fight with Francis Ngannou. And also he has a knockout loss against Daniel Cormier, which can impact your fight game, impact your chin. Mm, and also the age, man, of him is not the same. Cyril Gane is very young for this division. You know, for a heavyweight division to be 31 years old or something is young. And he's a big guy. We saw it at the weigh-ins. He's a very big guy. Same height. The reach advantage is a little bit for John Jones again. But this is not a light heavyweight fighter, man. This is a heavyweight fighter. A whole different area of fighting. Because one punch can make the difference, man. One punch of a heavyweight fighter is maybe free time from a light heavyweight fighter. So John Jones really need to keep an eye of Cyril Gane's light, uh, um, light high kick, left high kick, um, maybe even a right overhand, left hook. Who knows, man? Cyril Gane has everything in his pocket. His striking is perfect for this division. His footwork and his fight IQ. He knows how to manage distance. He won a very good fight against Volkov. Back then, I really thought he will lose the fight against Volkov, but he showed us that he can manage everything to win a fight against a dangerous opponent. And again, John Jones, he just need to work big on this takedown defense, which I believe he can really show that after losing to Francis Ngannou, he will he will have a tough fight camp. Put so much work in this wrestling. I believe he's very smart to do this because this is John Jones, man. He can take you down and hold you even down for 5 rounds and win a decision fight. John Jones is a smart guy. He really don't want to waste his win because some fans say, you won a decision. Who cares, man? John Jones want to be undefeated, champion of the UFC, champion of the world. To be the GOAT, best fighter. So John Jones is very smart and will play it smart, like Cyril Gane. We can have a sleeper fight, or we can have the best fight in heavyweight division. I hope we will see, of course, the second thing. So third round TKO from Cyril Gane. Why? Why I believe this? I believe he can stuff the takedowns, man, and this will gas the heavyweight John Jones out. Not the light heavyweight, but the heavyweight John Jones out. So the third round at the beginning, John Jones again try to take down Cyril Gane, but I believe he can, avoid the takedowns, defend it, and this will gas John Jones more out. Not fully, Of course, he will have the gas tank, but after this whole build up, this is like maybe 50 pounds or 40 pounds he put on weight, man. This is crazy in 3 years, man. This can change your stamina. This can change your whole fight game. Maybe even a speed advantage can be in Gane's favor, and I believe he will catch him in the third round, end of the third round, and have a TKO win against John Jones. This will shock a lot of people, even if some people say, of course, Gane can win this fight. This will still shock a lot of guys because we never saw John Jones really lose a fight. I believe this is the first time, and I hope this is not the last time we will see him in the cage if he loses. Or even if he wins, he can also win the fight and say, what, who cares anymore about that? I got the belt and go out. I hope we will see a good fight. And in the future, of course, I will try to put the work in and have the best content for you guys and show you some great predictions. Because I saw a lot of other guys, of course I got inspired by a lot of other YouTubers, and man, so many people failed because of dumb decisions, but it's okay, man. This is the fight game, everything can happen. I really will study a lot of fighters, man, even what they're eating, everything, just to have the best predictions for you guys and have the best content. I will have some surprises and put very much professionalism, because I really believe in professionalism. So I will put my work in this, and of course have a mic, and have a good setup to show the best thing I can give. And we will see in the future what God have plans for us. Um, Little by little, step by step, we can show the world that MMA is the best sport. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you keep on, and we will see.